Alright, hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from. And welcome to the Crypto Analyst live stream, where of course today, guys, we're going to be doing technical analysis on Bitcoin, going over what's happening, discussing where my thoughts are and where I believe it's going. So, as always, we're going to go ahead and get this started, make sure everything's working right, and send the links out to the proper people to make sure everyone knows that we are live. But if you guys are watching this back for the first time, welcome guys. My name is Brendan TCA, otherwise known as, you guys can call me Brendan or the Crypto Analyst. I really go by anything. These live streams are pretty chill. What was that? Did you guys hear that? Whoa. I think it was coming through my speakers there for a second. But let's go ahead and send out these links, make sure everything is good. And we'll be good to go from here. Boom, out to the Discord. Send it out to the Twitter. I think everybody will be joining in here now. Yeah, so there's chat. Chat's already coming up. What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. What did I show? What is that? Do you guys hear that? I'm hearing sound from multiple locations. Maybe that's just me. What's up, everybody, by the way? Slice Keeper, what's up? Great to have you. Oh, that's a hard name. Omashai, great to have you in here. Rob G, what's crack-a-lackin'? Great to have you. We're sending out the notifications to everyone to make sure everything's up. And then we're good to go from here. See if that went out right. I think so. Perfect. Well, did it go out right? Things messing up a little bit here. But we are going to be going on into this. Sorry, guys. I know this is kind of weird. It's not letting me share this link. So, yeah, welcome, everybody. Yeah, people are actually joining pretty fast. It's weird because I was banned from live streaming for 3 months. And I thought it would be a lot harder getting into it, but you guys have been on top of it. You guys have been popping in here. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. That'll be good enough because I want to go ahead and get on into this. So we're not going to go as long as we normally do tonight. We are probably going to keep this at about an hour. So we'll probably be going, right now it is 11:30 Eastern time. We'll probably be going to around 12:30 Eastern time. So yeah, so let that be known. Usually these do last around 2 hours. But tonight they're going to be around 1 hour. So we're going to cut it in half, but we are going to be doing technical analysis nonetheless. And we can go ahead and get on into this because there actually is something happening. Now, I usually only do Bitcoin updates in like Discord. Or I mean, I'm always talking in Discord, but I usually don't like make videos or Patreon posts about them unless my view changes, which it has now. So here, like, you know, that's why we're doing the live stream. That's why there's no information out. So let's go ahead and break this down and talk about what's happening. You guys are talking up a lot. Do you think that Ethereum will go higher or call me Tuvi? All right, what's up, Tuvi? Great to have you. Ethereum will go higher eventually. I agree with that. Amar or Amarath, great to have you in here. Oh, I know what I needed to do. We need to put that guy over there. Great to have you guys. Ferris, great to have you. Welcome. How about Holo? Please, hot. What's up, Ferris? Holo hot. 2,500 to 3,500. So yeah, pretty much that sums it up. That actually sums it up really well. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive on into this. So my thoughts right here on Bitcoin are really pretty simple. They are they're bearish until proven not, and we're bouncing it in this range, which is great. Right? I exited, I think me and Rob G were talking in Discord yesterday. We were talking about if I was going to flip this to a long, why I was exiting my short, I think, you know, basically I just said I was exiting my short in this area. It's as I mentioned in today's earlier video, where I was talking about why, essentially how there's a double bottom in this area and how I was exiting my short along with a couple of other reasons. But with this, you know, coming up and happening and me exiting my short, I was telling Rob G, I think in the Discord, that I was not flipping it to a long yet. I wanted to see how this played out. I wanted to see how this happened. A lot of people were like, oh, well, you know, we're just going to take off from here and we're going to start getting higher highs, which I still don't believe is the case. I see a lot of people that are way too bullish in this area without having the proper knowledge. And it's not to say that the people aren't knowledgeable, but it's as to say the information that the technical analysis has given us in this range is not enough to verify some of these higher prices that all these people are claiming to have. And that's one of the, oh, that's trippy. And that's one of the, I'll tell you what, if I get a notification, if someone like subscribes or donates or whatever that is on screen, I'm going to keep my thing up, but just in case I miss it, I'm going to need you guys to remind me. All right, so I'm going to keep this up. Hopefully I don't miss it, but if I do, you guys got to spam me and be like, yo, you missed a notification. All right, deal. Can you please look at Holo? Hot and Holo. Oh, okay, so those are actually cryptocurrencies? Hot to BTC. Oh, it is. Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you were like, Holo, like, hey, what's up? All right. My bad. Yes, absolutely we can. Let me go ahead and pull out the notepad. And we'll put it over here. All right, so number one is hot. I also want to talk about Ethereum as well. So we're going to do Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then we're going to go into hot. So there we go. So now we got it on the list. What are you guys talking about in chat? Can you please do Ethereum? Okay, yeah, so there we go. Can you please do Ethereum? Yes, actually, we're going to do Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then hot, and then anything else that comes up on the list. We can go ahead and do those as well. And do you have a Discord link? Yeah, absolutely. Can we have, I don't know if I have any mods in the chat. I was going to say, can one of the mods drop it in here? Or if not, I can, dadgummit, I've been getting so many, sorry guys, I don't want to get too sidetracked here. Let me grab this Discord link. I've been getting a ton of scammers in the Discord. And outside of the Discord here, let me go ahead and get an invite link here. For work, there we go. Generate, copy, thank you. A ton of scammers have been like in and out of the Discord. So if you guys ever see anyone asking for money or trading or gambling or anything like that, it's probably a scammer 9 times out of 10. Like, no, 10 times out of 10. It's going to be. No one from my Discord will ever ask you for money or trades or anything like that. Anyway, there's the link to the Discord. I just want to go ahead and verify that. Robert Jones, welcome. Great to have you in here. Crypto Capsule, great to have you. GD, welcome. Icon, please, absolutely. So let's go ahead and add Icon to the list. So we have Ethereum, then hot, and then we have Icon. So let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin. So why did my thoughts change, right? Again, in this area, double bottom, I exited my short right down here, you know, actually like really close to the bottom. And then last night I said I was just going to stay out of trading. I wanted to see where this went. And now that I have started seeing information, I really do think that this is looking even more bearish for Bitcoin. And we'll go into the Ethereum chart and why that's actually like both bullish and bearish at the same time. Like I would say bearish in the short term and bullish in the long, in like the midterm. But I think Bitcoin's a lot of the same case over here. So the one thing I have noticed is that you could be forming like a falling wedge or something on Bitcoin right now. So right here, you have pretty good support. So obviously you have like 1, now 2, now 3, now 4 touches over in this area. And we can go ahead and draw up something like along the lines of this, at least for now. So again, this is just pretty short term. This is just based off the information that we have, which is not a lot because we really don't have that much information in this area. So I want to go ahead and draw up something like this. Something probably like that. So you can kind of almost count this as like the top of the falling wedge, and then this pretty much being like the bottom of this falling wedge. Now you can kind of adjust this a little bit. So here, actually, I'll tell you what. We're going to leave this as this, and we're going to draw up a secondary support because that's really how this could go. So right here. So this is going to be verifying one of them. So this one gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 touches on this bottom one. And then if we can verify this guy just a little bit more. Boom, there we go. So clean this up. I'm very picky when it comes to my TA. So here, the resistance is pretty much the same. It's nothing too great. It's nothing too verified. But this is where you actually have two decent support lines of where this could go down to. Both of them being falling wedges, so it doesn't matter too much. It's just a matter of where it could bottom out at before it breaks out of this falling wedge, or if it's even respected and where you want to look at this from. Because that's when things, I guess, really start getting important, because then you want to know when to buy your longs and when I want to buy my longs and where I want to keep stop losses at. So that's why these supports are important. So if the first one is respected, you know where to put your support. If the second one's respected, you know where to put your stop loss, and you know where support is, and you essentially know and find out your ideal zones for a breakout in this area, and that's why this is important. So again, it's important to know that one, your overbearing line of resistance, right? This is something that we talked about in Patreon, I think last week, about order of operations, and essentially how you go about in doing technical analysis, and how there is a specific order that maximizes both your efficiency and your effectiveness when looking at technical analysis, and like eliminates and reduces bias. So of course, first step is look at your overbearing chart. Look at the candle chart first. Where are your major supports and resistances? And for this, we have two major supports and we have one major resistance, I would say, right here inside of this giant channel. Now, this is the overall picture. Actually, kind of creating. Actually, I'm going to refrain from saying that. That's a very ballsy statement to say. I'm not going to say that. But no, so we still are in this falling channel. And in this falling channel, again, I think I would really like us to come and see this heart line. That's really where I want us to go and bounce off of before we even want to think about something more bullish. Typically, in a situation like this, you do come back down to the bottom of the channel or close to it. The fact that we came up, bounced off the top of the channel, hit the heart line, bounced off the top of the channel again, had 5 days of rejection, and now we're coming back down. Usually that means that we are coming back down to the bottom of this channel. However, I don't know. Nothing's for certain, especially not in technical analysis and especially not in cryptocurrency. So when looking at this, again, I'm just thinking that it's a very slim chance that this doesn't touch the heart line. But, maybe these falling wedges do play out correctly and it's able to touch resistance one last time, or maybe even break out of this falling channel, because, again, this is a falling parallel channel over here. So it could, it could have a breakout out of this, right? We talked about flags and all that before in like the past 4 live streams. So that again, that is a possibility. But I think in the short term, looking at this in the short term, right? If you're trading this, especially me, I'm looking, all right, this is at resistance. It could break out of this, right? This is a falling wedge. It's between 50 and 75% of the way through. So it could break out at this point. It's very, very possible. But you are getting rejected over here, pretty strongly from your 50 EMA, which is a signifier to me of, not only are you getting rejected from this resistance line, but you're also getting rejected from this 50 EMA. So things could be getting squeezed. You're starting to get lower highs. So that's why I'm not the most bullish on Bitcoin right now. Again, and I've talked about this in my earlier video. The one thing that I would be nervous about is that, again, this MACD doesn't look too strong, and your RSI is kind of went parabolic earlier. So I'm afraid that this might have a little bit of a pullback just because of how parabolic it went. It doesn't have to. Again, right now it's sitting about as neutral as it gets on your RSI. This is your 4-hour chart. So again, this really could go either way. I'm not trading the zone. It's been a great time trading. I'm leaning. So the falling wedge formation pattern is bullish, but the fact that these candle body rejections are telling me that this is bearish in the short term. So ideally, what I would kind of like to see happen is for this to get rejected, probably get rejected one more time, then come back down over here, either A, use this and then break out, or B, come and use this one and then break out. The breakouts would be almost equal for both of them. It really wouldn't be a big difference either way. If it broke out from one different falling wedge, the one wouldn't be that much bigger than the other. They would be relatively the same of a breakout. So that doesn't matter as well. Let's go ahead and read through chat here. GD says, yeah, so we got that on the list. Icon Robert Jones says, sup man, let's do DigiByte please. Absolutely. Put it on the list. Digimon token. Hot will make you guys rich. Is that so? Yo, what's up, Otter? Great to have you. Never heard of Hot before. If you can, Ferris, tell me what Hot does. It's the big thing for 2019. Holo Hot. To the moon. How about some stocks? AGI. We can look at some stocks. I think that's fair. But let's go ahead and go through some of these cryptocurrencies first. So that's really where I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. It's nothing too fancy. And again, it is a falling wedge, which is a bullish formation and continuation pattern, but the rejection candles are making me hesitant at this area. You don't want to get rejected too long. Again, I want to highlight one more thing on the 1-day chart in case you guys did not watch. I actually want to look at this real fast. So that's good. Again, your MACD is rounding off. I don't know how long that will last. I think that's a bull trap, as I mentioned in my video earlier today. But time will tell. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this. Now, this is not a double top, not as of yet. Still in this formation. And honestly, your 1-day chart looks all right. So we'll see what this does. There's really nothing right now. I mean, the 1-day chart looks really nice. And almost makes me wonder, is there like another line of resistance in this area? Because like, look at this. No, not like that. Well, maybe not. I take that back. I don't know. The 1-day chart's really not saying that much either right now. The only thing that I'm really looking at from the 1-day chart is the fact that your volume's falling off over here. And this is pretty obvious. Ever so slightly on these swing highs, it is going lower. So keep an eye on this area, and it's pretty straightforward from here. But again, your volume is falling off, generally not a good thing. Your negative volume is falling off, but also your positive volume. So that could go one of two ways. Generally, it's a bear market, so I would say it's going to go down. You can kind of see the same thing over here, right before this tanked. If you guys looked, volume was great over here in this area for the past couple months. You know, when this was all happening, volume slowly fell off until it was like nothing over here at November, and then it tanked. And then all the volume and volatility came back. And now volume's falling off again. So just beware, because that is a thing. Moving on over here, what do we have? I'll go ahead. Oh yeah, I'll go ahead and put AGI on the list. Let me move the mouse. Could that be a bull flag? Curtis, so what part of this are you talking about as the bull flag? Are you talking about like the whole parallel channel? Or ETC if possible? Absolutely. Put it on the list. By the way, guys, I did say this is going to be, for those of you guys who are just joining, this is going to be a little bit shorter of a live stream. It's only going to go for about an hour tonight instead of 2 hours, just because I got to get some sleep. I'm pretty tired. If you guys can't like hear it or tell. Whiplash. On the 4 hour. Let's see this. Like the whole parallel channel, Curtis, or were you talking about like specifically like right in here? It's a DAG like Nano and Hot. It's not a blockchain. It's oh okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Right here. If you have a link or something, right here specifically. Okay, so do you mean like? Okay, I think I see what you're saying. So like right in this small little area, right there specifically. Yes, I would like to move it here. Let's move this on a 1 hour. I don't know. I want it. Well, actually, yeah, it could be a bull flag. It could be. It'd be a sloppy one. Because as we mentioned, let me go ahead and pull up a chart, because there's a really useful tool. Here it is. There's a really useful chart that I've showed people on bull versus bear flags. There's actually two of them. This is one. Can we, So this is one of them right here. All right, bull flag, break up, sideward consolidation, then break up again. Bullish pennant, bearish pennant, how all of this works. And then there was another one over here that I want to go ahead and highlight, and that is this guy, because there's also, this one also shows wedges as well, so like falling channels, rising channels, bull versus bear. But if we're looking at this, what we essentially do is look at this one right here, this bull flag that we see, and this would be our essentially our bull flag, because it's sideward consolidation, or maybe even a bullish pennant of sorts. The only thing that really makes me nervous is that it's, you know, it's kind of just all over the place. It's not really anything. I mean, maybe if we break it down even smaller, like maybe we can draw something like this. You just have these giant wicks, which makes me not think it's a flag. But maybe we can draw something like this to say it's like a bullish pennant, or maybe we can just do a regressional trend line. Let me just chart a little bit and figure this out. Maybe we can just do like this and say, all right, hey, maybe that's the flag right here. So from pole to flag, so again, you have bull pole, bull flag, then breakout. That would go hand in hand to what we're saying over here with the falling wedge, right? So it could definitely be looked at as a bull flag. The only part that I was saying is that while ideally this is a bullish scenario for Bitcoin, the one thing that I'm watching out for is how many rejection candles that it's getting. And that's the one thing that was making me a little bit nervous about this bull flag, is that that the volume was fading off, that, you know, the volume was disappearing, but also that it was getting rejected a numerous amount of times at this point, which is not something you want to see right before you break out. You want to be able to break out with good volume here. So we'll see if that happens. Personally, this in a perfect world, this should break out. This is a falling wedge, so desperately close to its resistance, and, you know, honestly, it should break out at this point. I wouldn't be surprised or scared if it didn't, because it could very easily just rebound and then break out like any other falling wedge as well. But I think, again, the one thing that I'm really watching for in this area is that it doesn't keep getting rejected. Because if this thing keeps getting rejected on a 4-hour, it's not going to be good. And then it's going to go, you know, it's going to go all BART again, and then it's going to go right back down. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to Ethereum, to the US dollar. Look at this from Coinbase, and we're going to be able to talk about this. What are we talking? And let's pull back up chat. Right, specifically, yes. Phantom is probably one of the better DAGs out there. I haven't looked into Phantom. I've looked into Nano, though. CBOE futures expiry closing. Just matching current price. Action to the T. Cool, thank you. Yeah, exactly, Curtis. So, yeah. So that's the thing about Bitcoin in this area, is it very well could be. Just keep an eye, because I was saying in today's video earlier that this could be a bull trap, and while this is a situation that should in theory be a bullish one, it should look bullish, there's actually some hidden bearish divergence, which makes me think that this is very possible that we have a bull trap somewhere in this area within the next couple of days. So just be careful. In theory, it should play out as, you know, from the bulls, but watch these rejection candles and watch the volume. Those are probably going to be two of your most important things. Keep a close eye, I would say, on your RSI and stuff as well. So when I'm looking at Ethereum over here, you essentially have so this is our support line again, 1, 2, 3 touch points, making it a pretty verified support. Ideally, you really don't want to touch this one again, because if it touches this again, you're going to go down to like a pretty low price, probably around $108, $107. This resistance, on the other hand, is very weak. It's not even a resistance line yet, because you really only have 2 touches, like right here and right here. So ideally, again, not the strongest. Where is this? So this is our 4-hour. Oops, we painted. This is our 4-hour, and you're getting rejected from your 200 EMA and your 200 and your 50 EMA. So these two together are acting as resistance. It pierced through the 200 EMA, hit the 50 EMA, got rejected, still in this channel, and that's really the name of the game at this point. And I think that these EMAs are going to act more as resistance more than this line even, because again, this line really needs 3 touch points to be verified. But if I'm looking at this, it's essentially the same thing. It's still a falling wedge. It's a very, very crappy one, to say the least, but it's still a falling wedge for Ethereum. But the Ethereum charts do look a little bit different. Oh, and I also want to highlight this. So we had essentially, so we had this parallel channel that we'd been talking about for several live streams and videos. We even did an Ethereum technical analysis video. And as soon as you guys can see that, like, this is why knowing your supports and resistances are arguably one of the most important things, most important things for doing technical analysis. That's why, again, order of operations, you want to know your overlying supports and resistances. That's why I always do it as soon as I start looking at a new coin. As soon as it broke this line of support that it's been in, it immediately like tanked. So like imagine if you would have had a stop loss here. You would have been completely saved from this entire situation. Maybe you lose, like in theory, like you should be up unless you're like actually buying at the top over here. or maybe you're just looking for another entry on support to add to your position, right? Then like this stop loss would help you so much. This is why I talked about order of operations in the Patreon like a week ago, stressing that this is one of the most important things, because, and again, I think I even mentioned this in the Ethereum technical analysis video and in a live stream, but like as soon as this breaks, like the floor falls out. So knowing your overlying supports and resistances is essential for this kind of thing, because it would have saved, you know, a lot of people probably a lot of money. So with this though, I want to go ahead and, and look at the MACD and the RSI. They are both pointing upwards. You're getting higher, higher swing lows over here, which is good for the Ethereum MACD. Again, nothing too fancy, crappy volume in here, but you are looking pretty bullish, at least from this scenario. So again, higher highs on your MACD chart, nothing too crazy. Your RSI, which is where, and then this is again where things start getting conflicting, because here's the same thing on your RSI, in that you're getting, you know, higher or lower lows on your RSI, but you're getting higher lows on your MACD, and things start getting conflicting. And then your oscillators on your MACD look like a straight invert of your RSI, and this is where things again really start getting confusing, and what makes me think a bull trap has the potential to hold this area, and is at least making me suspicious. So once we, again, I think something's going to happen, and I would love to see us in this area rally down and then maybe create like something along the lines of this, like a higher swing low still in the oversold territory. That's what I would like to see, is probably, yeah, again, so probably something around the 26 range for the in the oversold territory. So somewhere around 25, 26 for oversold, and then rallying back up would be my ideal area for Ethereum. That's what I would really like to see happen, and then start creating pretty much an inverse of what we saw over here on this chart, where you are losing levels of positive momentum, you're actually losing levels of negative momentum, and then you can set yourself up for a really nice rally, and essentially just do the invert of what we saw this area, do the invert of this back towards the upside. Because, oh, and we actually have a really nice double bottom. So yeah, so again, yeah, that's a nice double bottom on Ethereum. So, dang. So it makes me wonder. So what if it did this? This is, again, probably not very likely. But what if it came back down, right, and went to this falling wedge, and it hit bottom like somewhere around this area, right? Because then that would pair up with this. Use this as support, another double bottom, the breakout of a falling wedge or something along these lines. That's another possibility. That'd be really cool. I don't think it's that probable, but it would be something really, really cool, just to show how how much the support levels and everything correlate. But that's just like my current thoughts on Ethereum. I'm not trading in this area. It's been a great place to trade in the past like week or so. Well, past like, yeah, I would say the past like week or so. It's been a great area to trade. Personally, right now, I'm not in anything. I might enter a trade tomorrow. Again, I want to see how this plays out. That's the big thing for me. I'm sorry, I'm totally ignoring chat as well. Cool, thanks. Yeah, absolutely, Curtis. Deg, welcome. Bob, welcome. Great to have you guys. Whiplash on the 16th. What's, oh, I know what you mean. Bob said, it's not a bull trap, lol. Well, it's a bullish Gartley. So where to place the buy order at for BTC, thanks. So that's the thing, is I can't tell you where to place like buy and sell orders or anything like that. I'm actually not allowed to. But if I were looking to buy Bitcoin, I don't know, like I'm really not looking to long Bitcoin in this area. I'm not. Because if you're looking at this, if I'm looking at this and I want to buy, I have to ask myself, do I want to buy after rejection from the 50? Do I want to buy at the top of resistance with 2 rejection candles looking like a third? Do I want to buy a series of rejection candles from both the 50 and from the resistance line at the top of resistance, or do I want to buy at support or lower? You know, am I that confident that it's going to break out from this resistance level that I'm willing to buy at the highest risk area of value possible? Right? Because if you're buying at resistance, that's exactly what you're doing. So you have to be just that confident. If you really think that it's going to break this resistance, then, you know, by all means, you know, do it. but it's one of the most risky areas to buy at, and we'll talk about this. Because if you want to buy in this range, then go for it. But your risk for reward is just like not worth it. Here, I mean, your risk versus reward ratio here is like less than 1. Because the breakout wouldn't be anything that giant. Maybe it's slightly over than 1, like a 1.25. And you could just like FOMO into this. But imagine if this does come down to support or something, right? How do we... Why is it? There we go. So imagine this does come down to support and you want to buy somewhere along one of these two support lines, or I want to buy on one of these two support lines, right? My risk versus reward goes down drastically. Let's just go ahead and even increase this even more. So let's just say it's like that big. It's still like it's a 4 to 3 now. It's a 4.3 ratio now because we're buying at support. So I would personally never long something in this area, especially not after a couple of rejection candles, just because of the fact that it is the highest risk area possible. Now, it's one thing to say that it's bullish, but it's another one to take a trade here because, again, it's just such a risky area, and risk management for a trader, very, very few people would take trades in this area. So that's why I'm not doing it. If anything, I'm looking for a short, and maybe if I get some better confirmation, I'll flip it to a long or something. But I have no trades in this area. I took all my trades out last night, so which they were all shorts. So that's just my thoughts. And again, it's like debatable, but let's go ahead and move on. HOT. Let's go check this out. Someone was freaking out about this in chat. Oh, geez. What is the market cap for this? Holo. Hot. Okay, so it's 52. Market cap of $83 million. Jeez. Where is it? Hold on, let me check its volume. So Binance is its best volume, I assume. So we'd want to do this from Binance. We're probably gonna have to do this from like a 1 day. Like we really can't do a technical analysis of this. Like it'd be extremely hard. It's just, I don't know. I think it's such a low market cap for a cryptocurrency that it would be far too hard to do a technical analysis on. Like maybe we could say that this was like, maybe we could say that this is like a falling wedge or something and it had its breakout. So maybe we could say this, right? Falling wedge, resistance, support, falling wedge right here, breakout, measured move, hit, or probably measured move didn't even hit, looking like rejection. Like you can't even say, because like you could be like, oh well, this is a double top, but like everything on this chart is a double top or a double bottom. So I don't know what to tell you. I would say, I mean, it just hasn't even been around for long enough to like really say anything. Rejection on your RSI, ever so slightly bearish on your MACD, so maybe more bearish than bullish on this at the moment. But it's just like, this isn't one of those ones I can really do a technical analysis of, unfortunately. Oh, icon. What is icon? ICX to BTC. There we go. Now this one I haven't done in a while. Let's go ahead and draw this guy up. Where's chat? Hot Connect. Holy bots. Yeah, a lot of bot action in there. AGI started looking juicy. So yeah, we have Icon, Digi, and then we have AGI. AGI starting to look juicy. I'm not in any stocks right now, but I'll take a look at it. So what do we got over here? Over here, we really don't have that much either, fortunately. And this is a daily chart, jeez. All right, let's go ahead and put this over to the 4 hour and see what we got. So it looks like you actually have a good support over here. So we're gonna go and draw this guy up. Probably go ahead and draw that guy there. One more support somewhere in this range. So there's our two supports that I would be looking for. Resistance. You really don't have enough information here to say much. What's the market cap for Icon? Yeah, it's not that much different. It's $110 million. This is what puts it in a hard position, right? Because, like, it kind of looks like a bear flag. It kind of does. But it'd be hard to say something in this range is a bear flag. Because, and let me explain why I think this is a bear flag. Because if I was looking at this, and if I just saw a, and this is again what we've talked about before, if I just saw a formation down, then upwards channel, that would be telling me that this is a bear flag. Now, looking at this on like a 4 hour, this is actually bullish divergence. So this is looking a lot better on your MACD, because you're essentially getting, and let me go ahead and highlight this, you're getting lower levels of negative momentum on your MACD consistently. So over here, if we can draw this, you can actually see that this isn't looking too bad. Lower levels of negative momentum on your MACD. It's pretty clear. Your oscillators are pointing up, at least for the time being. You're getting higher than your previous high on your MACD as well. So lower levels of negative momentum, higher levels of positive momentum. Your RSI oversold, pointing back upwards. Man, this thing was really oversold. Jeez. When was that? November? So that was when it really took a hit. So going oversold, could be looking for a way back up right here. So again, I'd be watching your RSI to note that in the short term this could actually have some upside. Let me check out the candle chart again. So yeah, I would say in the short term this could definitely have some upside, because if this is a regressional trend line, this again is coming off support in this area. Your MACD is actually not looking too bad at all, and your RSI is looking for what I would say to be a higher low. So if this comes back down and rallies on something like this, right, and then rallies back up, then what it would do for you is create a higher low, and then you'd have a higher low on a different swing. So you'd have essentially a swing low, and then a swing up, and then a higher swing low, which would create a bullish scenario and double bullish divergence for Icon. So if I was looking at Icon, I'd be looking at your 4 hour, your 4 hour RSI. Sometimes I talk too fast for myself, to see if this was creating any kind of bullish divergence. And I'd also be keeping a look at my MACD and making sure that this support was holding in this area. Again, the way I did this is just draw up a regressional trend line. It's nothing too fancy, but it's nice for some of these kind of lower market cap coins, because I can just kind of do stuff like this instead of having to actually create specific trend lines. I can just use the regressional trend. So my current thoughts on Icon, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It's below both of its EMAs, and I want to see its 1 day. Jeez, where it's, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So on the 1 day, it's really far below its 200 EMA, which I thought would be closer, to be honest. I didn't expect it to be that far. So it's not like death, but ideally you'd want it to be closer to this guy, because on your 4 hour you have a you had a golden cross, and now you have like a death cross forming. So, but again, you don't really verify like death crosses and golden crosses on a 4 hour. For me, that's only 1 day charts and above, so like 1 day, 3 day, 1 week, stuff like that. But yeah, that's Icon. Let's go and take a look at Digi. what is it? DGB. My bad. DGB to... Is it DGB? What is it? I forget. I haven't looked at DigiByte in a while. Oh, I remember the last time yeah, it is DGB. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one from Bittrex. Yeah, I remember this guy. Yeah, so here's his falling wedge, breakout, support broke. Another example of why you want to have a support line, because imagine if you would have had this guy and it broke and then you knew when to sell, you'd be like, geez, you'd be saved. So what do we got on this? I want to, we'll do a 4-hour and then we'll do a 1-day chart of this, because this one I believe is a little bit higher of a market cap. Right? Can we do this? Ah, it's loading. So anyway, support is, so from swing low we have that, from swing high we have something along the lines of like this. So it could be forming like a pennant of sorts maybe. I don't know. So yeah, we could be having, so essentially 2 support lines. Overbearing resistance line isn't anything crazy. It looks like it actually had a little bit of a falling wedge action in this area. It's hard to do this because of the fact that it is a lower market cap cryptocurrency. But I would say it looked like it was forming. Okay, it could have been forming a falling wedge in this area. This is going to get super clunky. Let me draw this out. So yeah, boom, I would say that. 1, 2, 3 touch points on support. Tons of touch points on resistance in this area. Pretty clean, to be honest. I mean, look at this thing. It's just riding the same resistance line all the way down. It's having its breakout, broke over the 50 EMA, getting rejected from your 200 EMA, but you're still making green candles, and it's pointing upwards. I mean, your oscillators are looking straight. Your oscillators are pointing straight up. Your MACD is, as long as it doesn't double top here, you'll be fine. As long as you don't double top here, I think it'll be all right. Again, this is what I mean by MACD. When you're getting lower swing highs, it almost always is a great thing, right? And for the opposite, when you're getting lower swing highs, you know, lower highs, it's a great thing. But when you're getting higher lows, it works just the same. So that's just why it's as great of a thing. Because on your RSI 4-hour, here you go. You have a swing low, it's low, comes back up, swings down again. It's a higher swing low, instantly saying, all right, double bullish divergence. Something could happen here. And then it's all the more, you know, notable when it's tripled. And I think that's what we saw on Bitcoin not too long ago. So if I was looking at this from like a larger scale event, dang. Yeah, you like can't even really make that much of a channel out of something like this. It's hard. I would say definitely like make that a support line and make something like this a resistance line. So I think, yeah, I mean, really no matter how you look at this, it's not too bad off. It could, if it fails this, it could come back down to, you know, it could have a pretty steep drop. There's really not too much to say about this. Short term looks all right. From a bigger time scale on like your 1 day, it looks a little bit worse. And yeah, so let's go ahead and break it down why. This is your 1 day chart. Again, you're seeing that. It's meh, but I guess you could even say that this is the swing, so it could be looking like this. Yeah, I mean, I really don't think it looks all that bad. It really doesn't look all that bad. You're getting close to kind of to this resistance line, but like even then, it's not even like a good resistance line because of the fact that this digi chart is so choppy. It's really hard to do technical analysis of it. But again, I hope that helped. I know people really like doing technical analysis of lower market cap coins, but it's really hard to do technical analysis of lower market cap coins because they're usually just like more volatile Bitcoins for the most part, and you can really only do technical analysis of a lot of the higher market cap cryptocurrencies, unfortunately. And I used to fight that, but they do just have too low of market caps now that they're kind of just slaves to Bitcoin. And another thing is that for these coins, for these lower market cap coins, they are more fundamentally driven in price than they are technically driven in price. That's my opinion on them. So let's go back to Coinbase, see what's happening over here. Really nothing. Like, again, just no volume, no movement, no volatility right now. It's being pretty boring. So we'll keep a close eye on it. What's happening in the chat over here? Yeah, yes. Thanks, man. You're awesome. Absolutely, Robert. Glad I could help. Glad I can help. Great to have you as always. Let's take a look at AGI. Now, I think this was a stock, right? What is this? Alamos Gold Incorporated? What do they do, if you don't mind me asking? I see gold. I love precious metals, so. So I would say that would be my support line. Oh, gap. Oh, shoot. I haven't seen something like this in a while. So this isn't. Dang. I haven't seen a gap down not get closed in a long time. So that's a little bit scary. I'm guessing it might just be a glitch from something, because that almost never happens. So you have a gap down here that hasn't been filled, which is strange. You know, almost always whenever you see some sort of a gap down or a gap up, they always get filled back in. So like, here's the gap down, it gets filled back in and then keeps falling. That's very strange. That's a large gap too, so like it should be filled, but it's not. That's very strange. So I don't necessarily like that. I don't know why that would be. Again, that's very strange. It's not a great scenario. So this would be ideally what I'm looking at. Oh, sorry. Gold mining and processing. Oh, fair enough. So this is what so that'd be over. This is what I would be looking at from a 4-hour. Stocks, generally, I like to look at more from the 1 day. That's still so weird. Well, looking at it, yeah, so again, here's your RSI in this area. Swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low, take off. And again, just great signs whenever you're doing this kind of movement, getting consecutively higher swing lows. It's a great thing to look at, especially on your daily RSI. Like, that's a big thing to note about. However, same thing over here. Don't forget about this guy. Don't forget about him. So consecutively, again, higher swing highs as well. Your MACD starting to look a little bit bearish to me. Didn't look too bad over here. Your oscillators are getting, again, higher swing lows, so that's great for your oscillators. But in the short term, your oscillators are rounding off now, looking like you're having a little bit of, and again, bullish divergence on your MACD as well. So keep that in mind. And the same thing if we even want to delete this. Like, this thing is just loaded. So like, slightly bullish there, even more bullish here. Again, down here more bullish. Your RSI was very bullish. And then, so yeah, here's essentially what happened on the candle chart. So now it's back up against resistance. And something that I like that it's doing is that it's actually using the 50 EMA as support in this range. So that's cool as well. So could it be looking for a breakout? It could be, but it's not in a position to right now. I would say it's looking a little bit more bearish in the current state. It's had a great like little run right here, and it's using the 50 EMA as support, which is great. But it's looking like it's having a little bit of bullish, what's the word? Exhaustion in this area, and it looks like it might need to come back down a little bit, and you know, until it wants to go back up again. So overall, with like this, again, the trend is your friend. It's a lot like the Bitcoin chart. I mean, this doesn't look a lot like the Bitcoin chart, but in the same sense, like the trend is your friend, and don't forget that about these kind of things, because again, if it's looking bearish and the trend is your friend and this trend is bearish, then like, can we, wow, look at that. let's go ahead and actually change this. So this is, again guys, this isn't cryptocurrency related, but this is definitely technical analysis related. So if you want to learn technical analysis and stuff like this, like, you know, stay tuned. So this thing's still getting into play. So yeah, I would just say, you know, it could be time for it to come back down a little bit. If I was looking at this, I've never looked at this one before, and I'm sure there's fundamentals behind the scenes that are driving this price action, because stocks have been in a pretty big bull market. So for this thing to be going inverse of the market and not working, I guess it is. I guess it is precious metals, so it's not really stocks. So I don't know. I would currently be a little bit bearish on it just because of what I was seeing. Your volume, you know, your volume's not even that bad. Not even that bad. But I would say that your indicators are kind of some of the scary things to me, and the fact that you are kind of approaching this resistance line, both of them, could be signaling that this isn't my, you know, my ideal buy area. Right. Anyway, let's go back over to what did we have on the list? We had Ethereum Classic. Hopefully that helped. I think so. One more like. Hey everyone, what's up, comedic? I think so. One more leg down. Yeah, so from the looks of this, it looks like it is pinching support. And maybe. So what could be a good thing is that it... Again, stocks require like you actually looking into like more fundamentals. Dang, that'd be really sad if this created a descending triangle. But it doesn't look like it because it's arced up. This is a higher low in this area. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, I mean, I think that this thing could be, again, I'd probably have to look at the fundamentals of like what's happening behind the scenes. But like the TA, again, just not an ideal buy zone for me. But if it was looking for like one more leg down, it would probably see support at either two supports over here. One, if I was looking to buy, 295, probably somewhere around there, or somewhere around like the 250 range, 260 range. That's where I would buy if I were looking into this. Anyway, Ethereum Classic to Bitcoin. Capitulation. Me and MJ, or me and, me and the Comedic Gamer were talking about capitulation the other day and why it's one of my most least favorite terms in all of cryptocurrency. It's one of the most overused terms. So this is actually holding support for the time being. So if we move this to the 4 hour, here's your falling wedge, breakout, retraced about like, I would say like 50% of the way or something. Where's our fib? Retraced perfectly to the 618, and then now it's keeping the support line. So if you're looking at Ethereum Classic, this would be a great example of how stop losses work. So if I'm looking at Ethereum Classic in this range, it breaks out, retraced 61% of the way through, got rejected on its 4 hour, fell back down, and now we're on the support line. So one touch, two touch, now we're facing multiple touches in this area. Ideally, this would be the best area of value if I wanted to enter this trade. Now what I would do is actually keep a stop loss, like again, right underneath this. Because if it does fall through the floor, I don't want to get wicked out in case this is like a baby wick. So I'm not going to leave it like right on top of here. So if it moves like 1/4 cent, I'm exiting the trade. MJ, you cheating on me. But again, it's on support. So this would be my ideal area of value to buy at the best area of value possible for risk management. But I'm keeping the stop loss like right underneath it. So if the floor does fall through, I'm not getting just absolutely wrecked. So this could potentially be one of the best buys that we've seen all night, because of the fact that, you know, it's right on support and everything else isn't. Be careful though that this isn't a falling parallel channel. So like it isn't something like this. Or maybe even that's a falling wedge. Either of these could be. So, yeah, so on our charts over here, MACD's really not saying anything. This is actually, again, another reason why it could very well be bullish in this area. Consecutively higher swing lows. Now, Ethereum, what's the market cap for it? The Ethereum Classic market cap's ranked number 18, $472 million. So it's got a decent market cap to it. And it is getting consecutively higher swing lows. You know, higher lows. Yeah, sorry, I'm making sure I said that correctly. I'm a little bit phased right now. Consecutively higher lows over here, so again, that's good. And the chart itself isn't looking too bad. It's right on support. So, Ethereum Classic, not looking bad. Probably one of the best charts that we've looked at all night. Interesting. Never thought I would say that. Never thought I would go to Ethereum Classic and be like, that was the best chart I've looked at all day. Anyway, back to Bitcoin to the US dollar. Thank you so much. Glad I could do some technical analysis for you, GD. I think the name of the game, though, the name of the game in this entire area is stop losses, because, like, they just if you're not shorting, you have to have a stop loss. Like, we've talked about all the situations tonight of how much they could have saved people. Like, imagine it. Like, again, we've talked about this giant support line. So, you know, so support, 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 and then break through. So imagine if you were in this area and you're like, all right, well, it's been support these, you know, all of these times. So I'm gonna go for a long right in this area, right? And then I'm going to get a, you know, a stop loss right in here in case the floor falls through. I want to put a stop loss. Like, it would have taken you the extra couple minutes, and it would have saved you from all of this mess. If you are in a long, then yeah. So it's just one of those things that people who do technical analysis can't stress enough, but it's so desperately important. If you're not going to be sitting here and watching the trade, like if you're sitting here, so that's when it's okay to not set a. That's okay when it's. Excuse me, I can't talk. That's an example of when it's not okay, or when it is okay to not set a stop loss. So if you're actually going to be watching this like live and you're just going to be sitting here, then it's okay to not set a stop loss in this area because you're like at your computer doing it. It's always safe to, but like if you're going to be live watching the trades, like sometimes I'll do that where I know I'm going to be at my computer for the next couple hours, I'll be making trades, and then I won't set a stop loss because again, I'll be watching it from my computer right there. So if anything happens, I can just exit the trade, right? I can set a limit, I can set a market, you know, whatever it takes, I can get out of the trade. But if you're just going to like leave this thing in here for like a couple days and just walk away, like there's no reason to not set a stop loss. Anyway, that is pretty much all the technical analysis that we have for tonight. Excuse me. We're about an hour in. We're 58 minutes in. So if you guys have any final questions, I would love to be able to answer for those for you guys. But with that being said, yes, pretty much going to sum up the live stream. Not a whole lot of movement. Basically, to sum this up at the end, the main thing that I see in this area is rejection candles. That's what I'm keeping my eye on. I want to see if this falling wedge can break out. The big thing for me is that it really only has 2 major touch points. I would like to see this have 3. If this had 3 on resistance, then I would definitely be a whole lot more bullish given the situation. But the fact that it really only has 2 main touch points, unless you want to count this third one up here, I like the wick. These rejection candles are really getting me. Rejection from the 50 EMA, rejection from resistance. That's what really has me in this area. So until this breaks, or the volume changes, or something changes, I'm still a little bit bearish on Bitcoin. So if you guys did enjoy the video, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. If you guys are new, welcome. I'd love to be able to talk to you guys in the Discord or in chat, or, you know, however. If you guys have questions, that's one of the things about these live streams, is that I'm very open and I'm very stressed, or not stressed, I'm very focused on teaching people. So if you guys have any questions, do not be afraid to ask. This is one of the most open chats, open live streams, open YouTube channels, communities, whatever you want to call it, that I think is on YouTube. It's one of the most least judgmental and helpful places on YouTube, because if I don't answer your question in time, someone else will, right? So we're all focused on helping each other. I even ask questions. So don't ever be afraid to ask questions in chat or in Discord or email or whatever. Don't ever be afraid to ask a question, because I ask questions, right? There's people who know more than me, and I'm in a server, and some of the guys in the live chat right now might be in there with me, but I'm in the Discord with like some really, really professional, like, or at least what I look at as very professional traders who are more experienced than myself, and I look up to them and I ask questions to them all the time. So moral of the story, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's how you learn. But yep, that pretty much does it for the TA right here. There's really not much else to say, right? Taking my final looks here. Nate W, great to have you in here. Share this video. Yo, thank you, dude. You've capitulated well, brother. My favorite word. Yo, if you enjoyed the stream, yo, thank you so much. Comedic, agreed. If you guys enjoyed, you already beat me to it. Love you, man. No homo. Hey, I love all of you. You guys are my community. Good TA. Thank you so much, Poker. GD said, if we are in a bull trap, how long till we see BTC tank? Hours or days? I would say it could be, I personally think it would happen in a time of hours, but it could be like 48 hours. So it could go up to a couple days. It could last, because again, it could have like a false breakout and then like really get people. So if I do think it's going to be a bull trap, I think for sure, or I personally think it would happen within the next couple of hours, because you can really only squeeze like another 1, maybe 2 more candles in this area before things start getting really crazy. So I would say probably most likely within the next day. Oh, I just saw a movement. But I would say like sooner than later, right? At max, I would give it a couple days. Like 2 days max. But I'm very more bearish in the short term. So personally, I think it would happen within the next couple of hours, probably by like noon tomorrow. But, you know, it could have up to 48 more hours. Do you guys just see that move? I thought I saw a movement there. Community Gamer said, do you think there is a chance the BTC breaks the resistance currently holding it back and making a run for the next resistance within within the next week? Yeah, so that's something that we mentioned earlier, in that it could very well do this. And if it was breaking this area, then it would immediately head back up to somewhere around this resistance line, right? If it broke this, you're immediately testing what was previously support is going to start getting used as resistance. So the measured move would be, or not even the measured move, the breakout of where it would probably lead to would probably be around 3850, 3850, 3860, somewhere in that range. And because again, I think it would be using this former support as resistance, and that's just the way it works. So that's where I would imagine it leading to. If it broke that towards the top of the channel at around 3950, 3960, and if it wanted to break that, then things would really start getting spicy, because if it broke a falling channel like this, then things could really start picking up really fast. But we'll conquer that once it gets there, because then it would really just start flying through some of these higher highs, and things would start getting pretty crazy. But until we get to that point, there's really no point in talking about it, because we're still a long ways off. So do I think it could happen? Yes. In theory, like, it should happen. In theory, it should. But again, I'm going against what most people are thinking right now. And in theory, this should be a bullish case scenario for Bitcoin. It really should. But I am going with, I guess, my knowledge of candle chart readings and calling a bull trap. So I'm going against the norm. I'm going against what is probably common thought. So we'll see. I'm playing against the odds, right? I'm playing against the majority. But I'm confident enough. I'm not confident enough to trade off of it, because again, we talked about risk management, but I can go ahead and call bull trap here, and we'll see if it happens. You know, if it does, then just, I don't know, all the more reason. Things always tank by the weekend. If it does, Thursday going into Friday, Yeah, that's true. The weekends are like one of two things. They're either the most boring things where absolutely nothing happens, or they are just like the craziest, most unpredictable, like volatile things happen. Usually they're just boring. But like they're just when you think that it's going to be boring and you're like not going to trade for the weekend, that's when something insane happens. And you're like, well, F. What were we saying? Thursday going into Friday. Yeah, so that'd be about right. Thank you for your time. You're a champion, bro. Yo, GD, great to have you in here. Again, GD, if you ever need to contact me, you have my email, you have my Twitter. You know, I know we've talked about stuff, so if you want to talk more or something, hit me up. It's crypto, yeah, for sure. Is the RSI bearish? I mean, the falling wedge just has me leaning. Yeah, exactly. So the falling wedge is what has me leaning bull. In theory, why it should be bullish. But we talked about, and I can't go back into all the reasons why I believe it's a bear trap. But long story short, there are other there's hidden divergences and hidden information here, which is making me think it's a bull trap rather than this bullish breakout. Yeah. So this is the 4-hour RSI. It's, you know, lower low, breakout, pretty much at a perfect medium right now. And pretty neutral. I would say this is more bearish right now because it just went parabolic. Probably have some sort of pullback. Your 1-day RSI is looking a little bit better because of this. So, I don't know, we can draw something like that. But the big point of this isn't the fact that it's a support line, because that's not a thing on RSI. It's just to highlight the fact that it's getting higher swing lows. So, that's the big thing. So, I guess your 1-day, it doesn't look too bad. Your 1-day really doesn't look bad at all. But I don't know. I would just say again, be careful. Now that you have a new daily candle closing, something to look at, because now you have a new daily candle closing inside of here. Yeah, I mean, there's just no way this thing stays inside here for that much longer. Like, it's either going to break down. Like, I think a big move's coming. Because there's just no way it just, like, sideways out of this. But we'll see. You need for more technical knowledge. Robinhood, I'm not quite sure what you mean. Nate said thanks. Yeah, absolutely, Nate. Great to have you. Glad I could help, man. I agree with you. Thank you so much, Robert. Robert's been one of the long-time supporters. That's why he's got the wrench. I love seeing long-time supporters in here. Robinhood said you need more. You need for more technical knowledge. I'm not quite sure what that means. But yeah, so that's pretty much summing up this up. Again, those are my thoughts on Bitcoin right now. I'm not in a trade currently. That could change pretty fast. Tomorrow is going to be a... Sorry, I was looking at something. Tomorrow, I don't know if Poker's still in here, because I know he's one of the Patreons. Tomorrow we'll do another Bitcoin update on the Patreon. We'll get that out. And yeah, you know what? Okay, let's go ahead and shill the Patreon, because now the live stream's over, right? Now this is my time where I get to shill the Patreon, because there's so many cool things you guys don't know about. You guys know that I have a $2 Patreon? That's right, I have a $2 Patreon. Now I can go ahead and sell out. So if you guys don't know, YouTube pays me about next to nothing because they're YouTube and they don't support small content creators. So if you guys want to support me in the content that I create and the videos and the live streams that I do, one of the easiest ways to do that is through the Patreon. Now there are, oops, I am actually leaking all my information. Well, I guess you guys get to see it now. But essentially there are a couple of tiers in the way this works. I guess I can do this, right? I was about to just leak all the Patreon information. So there are 3 tiers. There's a $2 tier. It's literally $2 a month. Essentially, every 2 weeks, you guys choose a topic on what I should make a video on, and then the most upvoted by you guys, the community of who are these tier 2 supporters. Literally, you guys get to create topics and then vote on them, and then whatever the top vote is at the end of the month, or at the end of the 2 weeks, is what I will make a video on. So this essentially gives you guys the power to choose what I make videos on every 2 weeks. And it's $2 a month. It's super easy, it's cheap, and it supports me as a content creator. And then of course there is the rest of this, which is the tier 1 supporter, which is like Bitcoin updates, where I believe it's going, why I believe it's going. I teach technical analysis in there. I critique your charts. I give you constructive criticism and feedback, personal tips, and you really just get my insight and my openness to the market, and you get special access to me for questions about technical analysis and such. So if you guys really do want to support me and you enjoy the content that I give, then this is the best way to support me monetarily. But that's my sellout for the night. So I do it at the end because that way, right, people can't complain. Because if I do it at the beginning, then right, everyone's in here and they're here for they're here for the live stream and the TA. But if I do it at the end, right, I've already delivered what I said I was going to. So I don't feel as bad if I do that at the delivery. Some people plug their merch everywhere, but Crypto Yeti said, glad to see you are still doing a thing. I wish I had half the knowledge and I am twice your I wish I had half your knowledge and I'm twice your age. Fucker. Hey, no, Crypto Yetis, thank you so much for the compliment. It means a lot. But don't be fooled. Like, I pull hours a day into learning technical analysis, and it took me a long time. So, but that's the thing, is there's never, you have to find the right people to teach you. I would say that's the thing that so many people are discouraged about technical analysis, is that they have the wrong people teaching them. Because if you go on YouTube, all these people are trying to make it like some secret thing. Like, when they break it down and they're trying to explain concepts to you, they try to make it some secret, and they're trying to hide it, and they're trying to make it sound all complicated and fancy so that they can sound good or sound better, instead of just breaking it down in like a simple way so that people actually understand it and can learn. Because it's so easy to break down and teach people if you actually know what you're doing. So that's the thing, dude, is just like find people, if not me, because I'm not saying don't look at me as like the sole source. You should never just look at one person as like the TA crypto god or whatever. But like find like people that know what they're doing with technical analysis, and just like ask questions, learn, experiment, trial and error. Just devote some time to it, like on your own, and then come back. Like, I don't know, hopefully that made sense. But like, you just, put in the time, put in the work, and it pays off. Supposed to say, wish I had half your knowledge, and I'm twice your age. I put in hours a day. I put in hours a day. You know who my professor is. I put in hours a day. You know who my professor is? Is it me? I actually don't. Which one should I do in chat? I just created my Patreon right now. Which one should I do in chat? Say it one more time, comedic. I was very confused. You can review the chart I posted in Discord. Oh, absolutely. Oh, wow, we have lots of Discord notifications. Wow. Jeez. New members. Welcome by the Dip and Chong. Great to have you in here. Yeah, so here, I'll tell you what. We'll do the iOS T1 live, or Poker Throw. I'll tell you what. Do you want me to do that off stream, or do you want me to do that on stream? Because I can do either one. If not, I'll hop off stream, but if you want me to do it on stream, I'm already on here, and I'd love to do it. Supposed to say, I wish I put in hours a day. You know who my professor is. I didn't know you had a channel, so I'm glad I found it. You don't remember Crypto Yeti? I do. Me Tech is my leader. Crypto Yeti. Wait, hold on. How do I know this name? I've definitely talked to you a lot before. Don't you have a YouTube channel? Wait, okay. How do I know you? Now I'm actually confused. If you guys are here for the technical analysis, guys, for the most part, the TA is over. We're just wrapping up. I'm just going through chat, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Crypto Yetis. How do I know that name? Metech is my lord. Oh, Meech. I was completely reading that wrong. I was looking at Metech. I was like, man, who is Metech? I don't know Metech. I don't know anyone named Metech. No, Crypto Yetis. There's so much to learn in TA. Love it. Yeah, there really is. And again, I'm learning more every single day. I was talking to people and they were teaching me. The big thing about me is I'm always down to learn more about indicators. I've been using some more. I can't show some of them because some of the indicators that I have on here are from people who created them, and I don't think they want them. I don't have their permission to show them on live stream, but they're like private indicators. Mitch, yeah, man, I'll tell you what, Yetis. I haven't talked to Mitch in a long time. It's been a long time. He's doing his thing now. I know he's still doing live streams in crypto and whatever. The big difference between me and Mitch is that he does live streams and I do videos. So my live streams are considerably smaller, but my videos are generally considerably bigger. So that's the thing, is like he focuses more on live streams, I focus more on videos, and ever since HOC, we really just haven't talked. Like, he started his channel, I started mine, and we kind of just, like, I don't know, we never had, like, a falling out or anything. It was just, we were just both so laser focused. It never feel like you've arrived. What's your schedule? So I pretty much, I post almost every single day. So I post probably at least 6 days a week, and live streaming wise, we do a deep technical analysis of Bitcoin. I would say probably like 3 or 4 days a week at least. But usually the times I live stream, which I always post in the Discord, are whenever my Bitcoin position has changed. So for the long time in here, I was saying, all right, I was shorting, and I didn't live stream for like 2 days because nothing had changed, right? I was shorting this area, it fell through. Now that this changed, I exited my short. I think I said that in Discord yesterday. And then now that changed, on is cool. All right, we'll do poker. So actually, we're going to do one more TA, and that's going to be from one of the Patreons. What was I saying? So yeah, so now that my position has changed from a short, I'm doing another live stream, and I'm breaking down like why I exited, where I believe it's going to go next. So I would imagine that either tomorrow night or Thursday night, I'm going to be doing another technical analysis, because this is either going to break up or break down pretty soon. And then whenever that happens, we'll be doing another technical analysis. So there'll be another video tomorrow, and maybe possibly even another live stream tomorrow night. But I'm going to be getting a set schedule. Usually I live stream anytime from around 9 to midnight. So from 9 p.m. Eastern time to midnight is usually my live streaming time. And yeah, hopefully that helps. Let's go ahead and do this one. IOST to pull this guy up. But I know Crypto Yeti, dude, it's great to have you in here. I haven't talked to you in a while. I remember you because I remember your name. No, it's great to have you, though. I haven't, again, yeah, it's been a while. Let's pull this guy up. IOST to BTC. What do you say? I remember when you took over a stream, one of the 2 times came from Mitch. I settled with you, lol, but you've always surprised me. Don't sell yourself short. You've got a great set of tools. You got a great set of tools. And lots of wide open. Way in front of you, happy for you. Yeah, absolutely, Crypto Yeti. And that's the big thing, though, is I've come a long ways, I would say, since this summer. And like some of the people who've been around can attest that I would say like my technical analysis has gotten so much better. It was, it was good. The big thing for me is when I worked for HOC and when I was taking over those streams is I worked as the fundamental analyst for the team. And I think this is right. What were we looking at? I worked as the fundamental analyst for the team, and I took over, and I was good at TA, but I was nowhere near the point I am today. the point I'm at today is I would say I'm very, very confident and capable in my ability to do and teach technical analysis. Back then, I was good, but I was nowhere near I was at the point today. So it was a weird situation because I wasn't supposed to take over as a technical analyst. So like, oh wow, dang, look at that. So IOST, what are we looking for? This is the 1-day chart. All right, let's go ahead and switch this thing over. Yeah, I actually do. I talked to Crown. I talked to Crown, and I also talked to another guy now. I've been talking to another guy recently named Daniel 4K. He focuses more on Elliott waves, which is why I really like talking to him, because I am not the best at Elliott waves. And what was I doing here? Sorry, I'm super ADD when I'm looking at this. All the way back to July. All right, perfect. So I was talking to Crown. Me and Crown are actually trying to do a collaboration here. So I would love to be able to continue collaborating, or actually do a collaboration with Crown and with Daniel 4K. So I'm just trying to figure out what exactly I want to do in the collaboration and how I want to do it, because it's hard to do collaborations in cryptocurrency because, like, unless we both are on there doing TA together, it's kind of hard. And it's hard because I do fundamental trading and more larger scale stuff and swing trading, and Crown does day trading, and Daniel 4K does Elliott wave trading. And we like all do all these different things, which is why I want to do collaborations with them so much, because we're all so different. And I would love to see our viewpoints like clashing with another one. Not like in a bad way, but like putting our thoughts together, like the swing trader and the great day trader and the great Elliott wave trader, and like all these things, and like putting them together to create just like this monster trading platform. Or not like platform, but collaboration. Look at this chart. The 24th. You and Mitch are the Jesus man. I haven't heard that in forever. Wow, I forgot about that. Do you talk to Crown yet? You've gotten so much better. Young have more personality too. Young and you have. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I've definitely gotten a lot better at this. That's for sure. I think I have more room to be less serious. Sometimes I can be too serious with this, and that's probably my biggest downfall. Is that I'm not quite as entertaining, but I feel like I say what needs to be said. So, man, Yeti, I wish you would have caught me a little bit earlier. We're actually just finishing up the live stream right now, but I'm just doing a live one for a Patreon actually as we speak. This guy actually has to come down a little bit more. So I want to go and create this guy to red. All right, so let's go ahead and down. Yeah, well, Charlie and June, welcome. Yeah, that would be cool to. Oh, wow, I missed a lot of comments. I suck at Elliott waves. Yeah, I'm not that great at them either, but that's why I have such a desire to learn them. Yeah, that would be cool to hear you guys break it down on the same chart and your different ways between all of you three. You would nail it. Yeah, I would love it. I don't know how to say this. I gotta watch my mouth. I know it's hard to do collaborations with some people. I would love to be able to do one with Mitch. I'm not sure he would do one with me. But not because we have beef. Not because there's beef or anything. But just because his way of doing things is very he's very good at being like the one-man show. And I feel like it would just be out of his element to do multiple people in the same stream. But like me and Crown and Daniel, that would be a really fun time. And if we could get Mitch on it too, dude, imagine if we had me and Mitch and and Daniel 4K and Crown, like all in one live stream, just doing TA, like it would be a crazy time. It would be crazy. Oh my god, it'd be fun. Crown would be stirring up the pot so much too. I love that guy. Anyway, so Poker Throat. This is this is what I was looking at. So I saw that you were looking at this actually as a parallel channel. And what was this? What time frame was the second picture that you posted with the parallel channel in it? Because oh, this is the daily, no wonder. So you were looking at a little bit of a 4-hour. Can we That's not what I wanted. Where's our parallel channel tool? Let's draw this guy up. So how are we saying this? Okay, so I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And this is where things get kind of hard. Because if we're counting this wick, that's hard. Because if we're counting this wick, then it's a rising wedge. And if we're counting these, so like let's just get rid of this one, so then we can just keep the parallel channel, right? So then this could work as this parallel channel that we have over here, because then you'd have 1 touch point, 2 touch point, now like almost 3 touch points, and then off support, of course, you'd have 1, 2, now 3 touch points on your support. So this could work as well. However, you're gonna reach a point now where you're gonna have to start contradicting either a couple of these things. So I would suggest, Poker Throat, drawing up a couple of these resistance and supports that I have drawn up, because this is when things start getting crazy and you'll start seeing this actually getting squeezed, because you got rejected from your heartline twice now. But now, instead of just being a heartline, you also have like this guy, I think. Oh no, okay, well actually don't really you can put this in there, but it's nothing like crazy. This is kind of just in there for theories and guesses. This is not a full-on resistance. So actually I would just get rid of this. It's gonna be way too confusing. You can maybe do something like that, even raise it, but like actually hold on, I wonder. This is where I get Curious George mode. Yeah, never mind. So I'll tell you what, we can put that as overhead. For the short term, I would be looking at a couple of things. Number one, again, this could be a giant falling wedge, as we've been drawing out. Right there. Could be a giant falling wedge, so that's option A. Inside of this giant falling wedge, if that's what it is indeed, then you do have this rising wedge, but you also have this parallel channel. So it's like you said, you drew up this parallel channel. This is a very good catch, because you are catching numerous amounts of... Let's bring this guy down a little bit. Bring him down just a tad. Oops, maybe not. Yeah, there we go. So that works out actually a lot better, I think. So yeah, so there we go. So here's our parallel channel, 3 touches on top, around 3 touches on the bottom as well. And this is your parallel channel. You also have your rising wedge. Now over here you have like 1, 2, 3. You can not really even count that as a fourth, but mainly just 3 touches on resistance, numerous touches on the support, regardless of how you look at it, either as the bottom of a parallel channel or as the bottom of a falling wedge. They're pretty close, they're pretty similar. Just minor adjustments are really the only thing that change in this area. So I would go ahead and put both of these up, because you're going to see which one of these gets respected pretty fast here, and if it's going to be the falling wedge or the rising parallel channel, or if it's going to be the rising wedge. And that's really going to be a big, I would say it's going to be a pretty big difference maker, because this rising parallel channel could bring you all the way up to resistance and to some of these higher levels, while this rising wedge could actually make you fall out pretty soon. Another thing to note on this chart, Poker Throat, is that when you're looking at this, notice all the resistance that's in this area. So don't forget to look left. And you also even have candle body closings over here. So in this range at around 190 satoshis, anywhere from probably 180 to 195 satoshis, or probably from 180 to 200 satoshis, you have a lot of resistance. You have 2 candle body closings over here on swing lows. You have all of this area of resistance, all this consolidation that was, all this consolidation is going to be getting used as a resistance level as well, which is why you saw yourself peak up here, hit this, and actually get rejected. So take note of that. This is a lot of resistance. However, it's not unbreakable. So I would keep a close eye on this and say, all right, you could actually enter some sort of a long down here at the bottom of this. Maybe this is the bottom of a falling wedge. Maybe this is the support of the parallel channel. You could keep a stop loss tight if you want to take the risk, if the risk isn't worth it for you. And what was this, IOST? So you can't really short this, but you could like tether it or something like along the lines of that. I'm totally neglecting chat as well. Wow, you guys were blowing through chat. Looks like we're up for one more wave before a B correction, C correction, creating... Oh, look at this. Charlie and Najun, welcome, dude. You're the Elliott wave guy we need. Najun, you think you haven't completed a C in the last pump. No, I mean you, Crown. Oh, and Daniel. No, it's more probable that we hit 3,300 before we move up. I completely agree with you, Charlie. The other scenarios that we go up and retest 4K, yeah, agreed. Before the final capitulation, my favorite word. If you're comparing it to the 2014 trend. Yeah, I think it's a little bit different, but like, again, I think Bitcoin goes on a 4-year market cycle. That would be wicked, you guys all together. That would be pretty crazy. The dump will go at about... will drop to about 1,800. Okay, so that's the one thing, Charlie, is where I'll probably disagree with you. A lot of people talk, and I'll break it down after we finish this, but 1,800 does not make sense for a bottom for me. And I am going against a million people who say it will, but trust me, when I break it down and I explain it, I promise it'll make sense. Which makes the final low of sometime around February or March before consolidation. I agree with you there too. Well, yeah, it could very well be. I think that it's going to be a lot, like you said, it's going to be this final low and then consolidation, and people think that it's going to be like this rocket ship up, which it's most likely not. 17 likes with 17 watching. Good numbers, man. Yo, thank you so much, Jalen. Great to have you in here. Yeah, Crown's awesome. I literally laugh out loud at least 1 time per stream. He's pretty reserved. He needs to stop holding back and just say what he means, Kappa. Yeah, obviously he doesn't hold back, which is the best part. Poker Throat, do you know Poker Guts? I don't know. I love Crown, dude. I'm very conservative with what I say on stream. I hold myself back. Again, I can take this too seriously sometimes, because I know money's involved, and I don't know, I'm just more serious natured. But Crown, dude, he's one of my favorite guys. I need to go shoot him a message after this and be like, dude, when are we collabing? But Poker Throat, breaking this down for you, again, I think we pretty much are good over here. MACD, nothing really. RSI, something to note. All right, so you're coming from oversold, or from overbought over here. This is actually super neutral. Leaning towards bearish, but it's pretty neutral. You're looking at this, but you're also kind of looking at this. It's neutral, but it's coming down from overbought, which makes it neutral bearish. So more probably like a 60-40. But I would say that this is more bearish than bullish in its current situation, because of the fact that it's coming from such a high overbought territory rather than coming from such an old oversold territory. So, yeah. Let's look at this on the 1 day. Yeah. So this kind of goes in the same thing. This is your daily chart, and we can actually kind of make this a little bit clearer. So you peaked up here, over here, same thing's kind of going, lower lows. I think it's just a little bit bearish, at least for the time being. Your MACD is kind of saying the same deal. So, just kind of looks like bullish exhaustion. And I think a lot of it has to do with the channel that it's been in, is that it's had a great run and it's been going up so well. But I think it's just starting to get exhausted from being in this upwards channel for so long. Because it's been in this upwards channel for almost a month. Yeah, over almost exactly a month. So I think it's just starting to get tired, and it's also running into all this resistance. And what I would like to see is kind of like an ascending triangle happen, and that's the easiest way to break these kind of heavy resistances, is to have an ascending triangle happen and just kind of work your way through it and just keep ripping away at the resistance like consecutively, like one time after another. So that'd be really cool to have like an ascending triangle be able to break this through. So again, big thing is, for me, big thing takeaway from this poker throat is draw these overbearing resistances. This isn't really anything big. This is a little bit more significant. So I would say definitely draw the support. You can go and throw in this resistance. It won't hurt at all. But make sure that you draw like some sort of a line, at least in this area, to keep yourself from remembering that this is going to be like, or you could even just put in like a tool. Anyway, set a reminder in this area saying, hey, this is heavy resistance. Also draw up the falling wedge as well. You already have the parallel channel in there and it was drawn really well. So there's that as well. And I would fix your support for the 1 day chart that you posted. I would fix that to include all the consolidation on the bottom. I would say that that's one of the scenarios where you can't just cut through all of the candle body closings, because that's a lot. That's like a month's worth of data. So I would say I would try to avoid cutting through all of it, at least in this situation. It wouldn't change your chart that much though. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Poker Guts. Any books like on trading? Great stream. Yeah, thank you so much, Otter. Great to have you in here again. Any books? Not really. I never did books when learning technical analysis. So I've heard of some really good ones. I've never read any technical analysis books. The best thing for me has always been trial. The best things for me is really trial and error. I learn better from trial and error and doing it and getting taught it from like a mentor or from watching it. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but just like getting a mentor and then trial and error and watching it than I do from a book. Books are really helpful though. But if books are the way for you, then there are some really great technical analysis books that I've been told about. I have never, again, read any of them, so I couldn't tell you which ones to read. I can message a friend, because he was talking to one about a month ago, and I didn't remember the name because, again, TA books just aren't for me. But if you're looking to learn technical analysis, I would say that there's a couple crucial things. One, find a couple of mentors or people. They don't have to be like, they can be paid, they can be not paid. Some people do courses, some people don't do courses. Like, find some people though that know what they're doing with TA. Make them like a mentor, just like be able to talk to them about it, like whatever that takes. If it's not me, like find someone else, because it doesn't have to be me. And that's like one of the things I stress is everyone's like, oh, he's just trying to sell out. Like, no, if you're trying to learn, like it can be, get a couple of people that know what they're doing, let them be your mentors, start teaching yourself, just like Google it. Like that's the big thing is about Google is like, here, let's pull this up. Let me show this. Cause like, oops, hold on. Like, so like you can just pull this up and just type in like bull flag versus bear flag, right? And we can go to images and you just click on the first one and it goes, okay, this is a bull flag, this is a bear flag, and you start like kind of knowing. And then you go over to the TA chart and you go, okay, well, let's try to spot some of these. It's easier if you have a mentor or like a program or something like mine, because then I highlight it and show like live examples of it and it actually playing out. But if you're teaching yourself, you can do it the same way. So you go, you find out, all right, this is bull and bear flags. You go and you can do like paper money trading, so you're not trading anything for real money. And then you're using what you're learning over here and you just Google it. And then you can go over here and you can go to be like, technical analysis, patterns, or something like that. So if you're teaching yourself, again, it's a lot harder to teach yourself. It's way easier if you have like a mentor or something. You just go onto Google and you just, you know, click on someone. You go to like Investopedia or something like that, and you start learning all these technical analysis terms. And then again, you go back to the TA chart, you find a mentor, you line it up, you get some critiquement, and you really just trial and error it. And again, I stress the fact that you need a mentor in this because it makes the process a million times better because you get your questions answered and everything like that. Total inverse head and shoulders and we neckline. Total inverse head and shoulders and we neckline. For this? Oh, I didn't see that. Huh. I would say instead of a head and shoulders in this area, you could look for a cup and handle. Dang. Where's our cup and handle tool? Dang, I did not even see that. Where is our cup and handle tool? What is this? I've never used this tool. Okay. No, so let's go ahead and draw it out like this then, if we can't do it the way I wanted it to. Huh. So yeah, so let's actually talk about this. What if this was creating, because that would create, I mean, it's possible. It'd be kind of, it's actually really possible because this would be about the length of this shoulder. Like if you cut off like this, then that would be about the same length. Huh. So it could play out if this wasn't inverse head and shoulders, then you would have, again, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, inverse head and shoulders forms, and then a giant breakout from, because again, that would respect the falling wedge. I mean, the breakout would be huge, but I think something that's more probable than this head and shoulders is, and it would go hand in hand with breaking down out of this rising wedge in this channel, is the fact that you actually create for yourself something like a cup and handle. So let's go ahead and drive this and clean this up. So for a cup and handle, it's pretty simple. You go over here, you have your cup, nice rounding action too. You have your cup, it comes back into this area, and then you have sloping downwards for your handle. Right? Here's your cup. So there's your teacup, there's your handle. Cup and handle could be forming. You'd have like a downwards channel or something, probably like that, and then break out. So man, you could have a cup and handle here. I haven't seen a cup and handle in forever. It's been a long time. I think the last one I saw was on Binance Coin, and that was like a very long time ago. So yeah, it honestly could. It could be either a cup and handle or an inverse head and shoulders forming. Because if this was the falling wedge and it like breaks down out of it and then forms the handle, like that would be, again, a pretty nice setup. It would make sense too. It really would. All the puzzle pieces would fit together. And then you would have probably, if it broke out of the cup and handle, then you'd probably have a retest of resistance. Yeah, I mean, dang. The door of opportunities just got massively opened for IOST. I'll tell you that. You just opened a can of like, I guess in that case, I would like to see this go a little higher so that the shoulder and the neckline is more even. But like even in this area, it would make sense. That's really cool. I'm glad you pointed that out. I didn't even see that. Do you think we're going up before breaking down on Bitcoin? Oh, okay, shoot. I thought we just broke out. So personally, I guess it's relative. So if I'm thinking up on Bitcoin, then I would say in the short, I would say no. I'm still bearish on this. I think that this could play out as a bull trap. I'm going against a lot of people and like a lot of sense saying that, but I think that in this area, you're gonna have a bull trap for Bitcoin, and it's gonna catch some people out. The trend is your friend, so I don't see a reason for myself to be more bullish than I am bearish. I'm not like 100% bearish, but I am percentage-wise more bearish than I am bullish in this zone, if that makes any sense. And yeah, pull off what Crown does. You can't have any filter. Everyone has their own style, and you are well-spoken, knowledgeable, and through, and probably are ahead of where a Bulowski is a book Mitch recommends. Bulkowski. There you go. Yeah, something to consider. Cup and handle. I know. You should catch me on one of Mitch's streams. He has a couple of new simple ways of charting that you might like to implement. Like he adds the 25 and 75 to the 50 in a parallel channel, and it's sweet. Awesome. Mikey Dent, welcome. What price do you sell the bull trap? Man, there's so many thoughts right now. What price to sell on the bull trap? So if this is a bull trap, you would realize it, as I said, I think it would happen within the next couple hours. It could be up to 48 hours or till the end of this week until it plays out. You know, if it really wants to fool people into a bull trap, you would have like a false breakout here, and then just like things would go really downhill fast. Like, personally, I think it's going to happen very soon. Like I would say by noon tomorrow, I would think it could, but again, it could go out. If it really wants to drag this out and get people, and it wants to be a bull trap, I would say it would happen within the next couple of days, probably within the next 48 hours. But again, I think sooner rather than later. But again, I'm going against the norm and what a lot of people are saying. So, but I don't know. That's how I roll. Yeah, you think 3 legs up, then dump. Have we done the first leg? Yeah, okay, so that's another thing. Is that if we want to do 3 legs up, then dump, we could. I guess it would make sense. Because we had 3 legs down, essentially. Like 1, 2, 3. It's kind of crappy, though. Does that even count? Can this just be 1 leg? No, so I don't know. I don't know if we have 3 legs up. I'm going to be honest. I don't think we have 3 legs up from here. I don't think that Bitcoin's strong enough to have 3 legs up. Now, something could change, but in its current state, I don't know. I'm not too bullish on Bitcoin. Crypto Yeti, to answer your question, though, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's kind of an invasion of privacy if I go on the Mitch's streams, because then it looks like I'm just trying to like steal the show or steal his attention, because again, I'm another crypto YouTuber, and it's not to say that we're competing because we're working for the same goals, but for him it's his living, and when I go on and I'm like drawing attention, they're like, oh, there's other crypto YouTubers in his chat talking to everyone and blah blah blah. It's stealing the attention away from him and towards my channel. And last time I did that, he got really upset, and I want to be respectful of that, because again, for him it's his job. It's how he makes all of his money, and I have to be respectful of that. So, and last time he wasn't too happy I did it. So we'll see. I mean, if he wanted me, or if I was welcome, then I would love to, because there's a lot of people in there who are part of my series as well, my channel as well, but I don't want to overstep any boundaries. I think I will sell at 4.2K. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if we get there. That's a stretch for me. 4.2 would, I guess, put us at this previous high. You'd have to get a higher high past here. I mean, I guess it's possible. Probably not probable, but that would be a stretch for me. I don't think we have enough strength to reach that level. Not right now. But things can change. That's the great thing about cryptocurrency. is that you never know what you're going to get. Oh, shoot. Look at that. Dadgummit. There's so many support lines here. Jeez. We're making a little star. Too high, you think? Yeah, personally, I think so. But that's just, again, that's just my opinion. I wouldn't be trading as if it was going to get up to this range. And I certainly wouldn't be comfortable longing here. Not to say that this isn't bullish, because again, it's a falling wedge, but the fact that it's right up against resistance. So for the sake of risk management, I would not be entering a long against resistance. Especially after it has rejection candles. So that would just be the thing that's scaring me away. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, bring this to an end. It was great having all of you guys in here. It was great getting to talk, especially Crypto Yeti. It's been a while, dude, so it was great having you in here, dude. Hopefully we can see you again, and you can actually like catch us during like the meat of the live stream. This was supposed to just kind of be a short live stream, turned into 2 hours. Said it was only going to be 1 hour. I know I dragged it out, but hopefully we get to catch you again. Mikey Dent, thank you so much for being in here. Crypto Yeti, Nate, Poker Throat, Otter, Jalen, Charlie, Robert, all of you guys, thank you guys so much for participating in tonight's live stream, and everyone else, Comedic Gamer, Robin, and there's so many of you guys, GD, Rob G, Ferris, Bob, Deg, Curtis, too many for me to name, but appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this tonight. Hopefully I can see you guys in the next live stream. The next one will probably be either tomorrow night or Thursday night, but we'll have videos up in between then. So if you guys want to join the Discord, the link for that will be in the description down below. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and round this off. Anyway, thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.